Welcome to Dutch Springs. I have started diving here in the very early 1990s and have continued to the present. In this section here you see Commander Robert Hanna, who comes down from Connecticut and dives with me once or twice a year. The rest of the structure you're looking at is again the remains of the quarry when it was a mining operation that shut down in the 1970s. In the 1980s, Stu and his partners bought the land and began the process of building a wonderful scuba diving venue. Believe it or not, we're still looking at parts of the quarry that was used in the mining process. Looking in this part of the video, we see Pete Herman, one of my earlier dive partners who unfortunately had a fatal heart attack during the course of a family vacation in the Caribbean. Anyway, most of us start from the east side of the peninsula, and we start with a school bus, and we travel around looking at it. Here we're seeing retired NYPD Captain Carl Sandell. And this was actually his first dive on the bus at all. Next diver you will see in the video will be Little Frank, who, like Carl, has a good time wherever he goes in the quarry. I don't recall when the bus was put there. I think it's been there at least a decade, and from time to time we see all kinds of fish inside the bus. We are still in the bus, and this is Little Frank, who has been a dive partner of mine since the summer of 2016. When you leave the bus, you can go in two different directions by rope. You can take the rope to the right, and it takes you up onto the island and go from there. Here is the way we get down from the platform to the bus, and when we get to the end of the bus, in this case, we're going to go left. In this part of the dive, we're taking you from the school bus and taking a left along an old road to an unmarked boat. And Little Frank is my dive companion on this trip. I'm not sure when the bus was actually put in the quarry, but it's been there a while. More importantly, the boat you're about to see was put there in the 1980s. It was an unmarked boat then, and it's an unmarked boat now, and it makes a good platform for starting underwater navigation. When you see the boat, you're going to be amazed at how many zebra mussels are on that structure. Here is the unmarked boat. I don't know what kind of a boat it is, except that it's a wooden boat, and it was put there along with several other boats by Stu and his original partners back in the 1980s. Heading east along the unmarked road from the unmarked boat, we reach a van. I have no idea when the van was put in, but a best guess is that it's been there from 5 to 10 years. Again, little Frank is with me. It is possible to go inside the van, and you can see that for yourself. And these zebra mussels really clean the water. It used to be much less visibility. We see little Frank again approaching the unmarked van, and I think he was just as surprised the van was there as I was. We have 4 clips of the fire truck coming up. I don't know when it was put in the quarry. My best guess would be sometime in the 1980s. From the fire truck at that time, you could follow a rope south and a little bit west, leading to the tanker, which we will visit later in this video. It is a very interesting piece of equipment. And when we took the video here, we weren't sure whether we were looking at horseshoes or what we were looking at, but there it is. Here is little Frank, and maybe we should call the fish Max, because Max appears quite a bit in this video. And anyway, we're not allowed to fish in that quarry, so Max is safe. So little Frank goes to the fire truck, and in the next video clip you're going to see Commander Rob Hanna again. Commander Rob and Max appear in this video. Everybody dives the fire truck because it's fun and because it's a warm dive at the start of the season. It's only about 25 feet deep, and that's the warmest part of the quarry at that time. You're looking at the rope here that takes you down to in the direction of the tanker, which we'll see later in this video. The front of the truck, because of all the green stuff that's on the truck, makes for an interesting face. And we will take a quick look at that face and then move on, with or without Max. The trolley, which we are inside of now, has been on the bottom as a play element for at least the last decade. It could have been put there as early as the late 1990s, but it was manufactured in 1946. When I started diving in the quarry in the first year or two of the 1990s, the tanker was already there. When it got put there, I have no clue. It lies on its side. You can see the ladder going from the right, which is the bottom, to the top. And as we get towards the end of the tanker, you will see the wheels. There is no tractor connected to it, and I believe it used to haul cement. It's probably full of cement now, which is what keeps it on the bottom. We have arrived at the Challenger. The Challenger is a very large airplane, as you will see as we go through these video clips. It was put in the quarry in 2016. It hangs from floats on the surface, but in this next video frame you will see how it's kept from floating all over the quarry. Watching rope can be very boring, but this rope takes us down to the bottom, and you can see directly ahead of you barrels which are filled with concrete, and they are used to keep the airplane from floating all over the quarry as it hangs from the floats on the top. We have dove the Challenger about 4 times, and filming the underside of the Challenger is a problem because of the light, but you can see the rope we just talked about leads to the wheels, and there's one on either side, and they both go down to cement barrels which keep the plane from floating all over the quarry. You would be surprised how many times we took video like this to get something that we could use. We are about to enter the Challenger, and when you get inside you will see a lot of empty space. That space on some Challengers was made into a gorgeous lounge. I don't know what was in this particular one when it was a working airplane. We're at the front of the Challenger, and we're going to see some of the divers who are inside. You are looking at the openings which had real windows in them, and this is where the pilots and co-pilot would look out. You're now looking at the controls, and you can see that this is a plane requiring a pilot and a co-pilot. This is a video clip showing Commander Robert Hanna, who was moving forward inside and taking over either the co-pilot or pilot. I'm not sure who has the right and who has the left in real life. This dive was done in 2016 when the plane was put in the water and the inside is still absolutely pristine. All of the rest of the video clips show Little Frank. And when we put them together in the first video, it almost looked like Frank and Commander Hanna were doing the same dive, which is actually not true. This is a more recent dive, and Frank and Bob have been to the plane several times to get the videos. We have now moved west in the quarry to the island where the Cessna is located. The important thing logistically is on the left side in this picture, there is a rope leading off the wing, and it takes us to the tanker. Here we see Little Frank exploring the inside of the Cessna. We see Commander Hanna here also exploring the inside of the Cessna. From the tail end of the Cessna, we head down from the hill, and the first thing we come to is this wooden boat. And I was doing this dive with Captain Carl. And then we take a right off the boat, and we will very quickly jump to the Comet, which is a 50-foot long boat that was put there in the mid-1990s. This is a video clip showing my friend Pete Herman, who is in this video very much alive and enjoying himself diving on the Comet. And you will see him swimming along the left side of the Comet, and we'll just take it from there. We will end the 2017 production of this video with a video clip from Commander Hanna, who explored the boat just like everybody else did. We're now back in the east end of the quarry, and we're at an entrance-exit point. As you will see, it's a few feet underwater, and there are places on either side you can put your stuff while you're getting ready to go diving.